Hey guys, so a lot of people have been doing and asking me, is Splinterlands still a good investment? So what I decided to do is about a month ago, I started to do a $10 challenge where I would start at $10 and then see how much I can grow that $10 and what cards I would pick and how I would develop that. So I'll go through what cards I started with a month ago. I'll also start telling you what I look for. And I think going in the future, I'll start recording while I make the decisions and not just look back about my decisions. That way you can also get a better idea of things. But typically what I do is when I start looking at these cards and what I would invest in, I typically try to stay away from anything that's available right now. I prefer to have a little bit more limited and availability. So any of the reward cards that are dropping as we speak, or any of the Chaos Legion cards that are coming out of packs, I stay away from. I know that there's a lot of people that buy, trade, and flip some of these cards, but that's just not my style. The other thing I do is I'm staying away from gold foils because I've only got $10 to spend, and if you go to gold foils, most of them, the cheap ones, obviously the ones that are in print, but if you look at Untamed Dice beta ones, maybe even promos, you're looking, that's already $6 and more than 50% of your budget. And as well as the fact that gold foils typically aren't for everyone, a lot more players would just buy the normal cards. So the first thing I did is, I think just like normal, when I give people advice, I always say start at epics and legendaries when you build your deck, because obviously you get most of the rares and commons. So I started at epics because I found that ignoring the rares and the Chaos Legion ones, a lot of the ones that are like more limited, so you start at the Pyromancer, are at about $3 a piece, and then it ranges all the way up to $15, $20 a piece. But it's roughly half of my budget would be on a good card. So that's where I started. I started at epics, and then as I grow my bag, I think right now we've got about $6 now, so a card must have sold. But basically what we would do is a month ago, so there's no more transactions because this is a fresh dead account. I put $10 into it, and the first thing I spent was $7.70, which was, oh, I'm using Monster Market, but there's other marketplaces as well that you can use, and you would use them because as you use them, you get your 3% back. I think there's a better marketplace which gives you 3.25% back, which is the card auctions website, but I just typically out of habit use Monster Market because it gives 3% back. But then this DEC that I get back, I'm not going to use. I just want to show you guys that on this journey, how big it can grow, because eventually it will grow to be about $3 extra, and that's a whole $3 profit from just using a different marketplace than the usual one. So the first things I bought when I started this journey was I bought a, sorry about that, my door just slammed. So the first thing I bought was a Pyromancer, which is this fire. I bought 2 fire legendaries. So I bought a Pyromancer. Let's just make regular foils. So I bought a Pyromancer, that's 3.28, and I paid 3.2. So I bought a Pyromancer at 3.2, so it hasn't gone up in value. I think I still own one, so there it is right there. There's the death deck, and I'm trying to sell it at 3.6, so I'm just trying to make about more than 10% profit, but that's okay. So it still hasn't sold, which has been bad. But the good one is that I bought a not Pyromancer, what's it called? Fire Mage? Goblin Mage? Goblin Fire Mage. Hey, somewhere in the middle. I got a Goblin Fire Mage really cheap. So I got it at 4.5, which was honestly a steal. I should have bought 2 of him instead. But I bought him at 4.5 US dollars. And now if you want to buy it, it's about 5.2. So then what I did is, I think just like a normal deck, I did play a few times to just do like a reward. So I would get, you know, this is an empty deck. If you look at what cards inside it, it's got nothing. I am not borrowing any cards. I'm not delegating any cards to it. So this deck itself has 550 power. That's playable. So if I look at owned, okay, cool. So these are from rewards, but if I go for sale, it's only the Pyromancer that's for sale. So what I did is, it says a month ago. So very quickly, I flipped this card for 5.19. So that's about a 0.69 profit on my Fire Mage. Obviously, I would lose 5% on the sale, but that's okay. I made a profit, and that's all that matters. We're buying cards to flip cards to make the profit, and that's the entire goal. So I sold the Fire Mage. They didn't sell. What I did is I listed them. So I listed the Fire Mage at 5.19, and I listed the Pyromancer at 3.69. So I'm just trying to get a little bit of profit above more than 10%. I would play a few games to get some of the rewards, and the reason I would play a few games is purely just so that even on a free account, when you get to Bronze 3, once you're in Bronze 3, you still get the end of Season 5 loot chests. So I would just make sure that before the season ends, I just get my loot chest, because, you could always get lucky. And then a few days later, so that was 21 days ago, that was a month ago, so roughly like a week later, the Fire Mage sold at my 5.19, so there it is right there. There was still a cheap one at 4.8, and I made some profit. And one day later, I realized, ooh, I sold my card, I've got money again to shop. So what I did is I went and bought myself a, what's this card called again? Wow, that's really bad that I don't know these names. Neutral, epic, so same thing. I kept to the neutrals, I kept to the epics. I bought myself an Onyx Sentinel. It's now 8.85, but I paid 3.9. I could have doubled my money right there 20 days ago. So these opportunities are still here. And it wasn't like, ooh, this is like one card that was cheap. There were so many of these cards at like $4, and now they're back super high because obviously people have I think the market's also recovered quite nicely. But I listed it at 4.5. Oh no, I literally am just trying to get that 0.6 because as I just climb, I claimed my rewards for the end of season, so I got a few more credits, which just over time will help accumulate. But I'm really sad now. I could have made $4 if I held longer. Diamond hands. But yeah, I listed it for that 0.6% profit because I thought, ooh, I'll get it. And 2 days later, it sold. So that's good. The Onyx Sentinel. So this guy obviously bought a whole bunch because he's going to combine them. So if you don't know, Onyx Sentinel is really good because eventually it becomes like Lord A, where it has the shield and the void, and then it doesn't have magic reflect, but eventually it gets thorns and return fire. So it's a really good card if you can afford it. 17 days ago, so once it sold, the next day I went straight back in and I bought myself a, I don't know what her name is, I think it's definitely like Mistress, but same thing, kept with it, bought myself, I only looked at epics, and I went and bought myself, the Mistress, and now they're 4.65, and I paid 4.45 for it, and I listed it at 5.5 because I was like, cool, let's make just under $1 profit, so 0.85. Claimed some rewards because I was playing that seasons, and then 6 days ago it was the end of season, so I managed to get super lucky. I got a Jin Oceanus, I got my Pelacor Deceiver, not the most important things, but the thing is, you can do this. This is a free empty account, and all I do is I play 2 or 3 games a season just to make sure it gets into Bronze 3, just so that I can get these 5 rewards. And I lucked out and I got a $4.3 card, which when I started this journey, I only started with $10 and I already got 43% profit just from having my account. So this is, and obviously I still have this card. I don't exactly know what to do with it, whether I sell it for the game. I've got to still decide, but basically I've still got it. So I can sell it or I can rent it out. Haven't decided what to do. I'll probably sell it just for the sake and keep growing. And maybe I can now start buying some legendaries. And then 2 days ago, my Mistress sold because a guy basically bought a whole bunch in order to obviously combine and make a level 10. I assume he bought 10, which looks about right because he got 9 right here and he might have owned one originally. So all the Mistresses sold. So I've got $6 now to spend. So this is nearly the end of the first episode, but let's look again. So Mistress is quite high. I don't like the Dragon Spirit. I'm really sad that I missed out the opportunity with this Onyx Sentinel because it's so high now. But I mean, this is just how it works. Pyromancer, I don't want to buy another one because I've been burnt on them before. Pun intended. Like, this was the first card I bought a month ago, and they haven't done nearly as well as I thought. I think they're a great card. Ooh, Shadowy Presence. So this is what you look for, right? There's a clear gap in the market. So the floor isn't very big. So it's 1, 2, 3, like it's literally like 10, and then it goes to a 7.5, and then 1, and then it goes to a 7.8, and then 1, and then it goes to an 8. And I like Shadowy Presence, and I've always recommended a Shadowy Presence. So I'm going to go to monstermarket.com, and I've got the money because I've got 2.48, so I think I can afford that. If I can't, we'll make the most of it, but confirm. Switch accounts. Death deck. Log in. And then what you do is we can go epics, and what is it that I want? It's epic, and then it's death, and then it's reward. There you go. Shadowy Presence, $6.5 US. I need 2. I've got the DEC, so we're gonna confirm that transaction, and now we've got the Shadowy Presence. And what you can do is refresh. Go back to your cards. Oops. Okay, market was successful. Go back to your cards. Go owned. What we'll do is we'll go him, and then we'll sell him 4.47. Whoops, 4.47. Sell. Okay. So obviously this was super lucky, but it's not impossible. Like, I'm just showing you guys that it is possible. But the Shadowy Presence, what we do is we then list for sale, and we're going to sell him for, I'm going to be greedy this time. I'm going to say $7.9 US. Sell. So it might take a few weeks, but eventually this will sell, and then I make $1 profit. The goal isn't to race to $100 or race to $1,000. It's just to enjoy the grind and show you guys that there's still plenty of opportunities in the market to buy flip cards. As you can see, I'm not doing any active trading. I'm not using any connections. Like, I could be in the Discord constantly pumping out messages looking to flip these cards, which if you guys do, there's I know there's a few regulars that do it now, and they do it for a reason, because it is profitable to buy cards at a discount, because you can go onto the Discord. I know P2P is a bit risky, but use a moderator, trade responsibly, and you buy cards at 10% off below the market price, which is even cheaper than I'm buying right now, and then you sell at market price and you make your 5% every time you do it, or you just keep trading with other people to avoid the market fees. At the moment, I'm literally just buying cards off the market to show you guys that with time, the market does go up and you can sell your cards. There will be some cards that I will have to end up holding for a very long time, such as my Pyromancer, which I'm still a bit annoyed about, but eventually he's going to sell, because honestly, this card is super underrated if you don't have a Jotun. I know his speed is bad, but he's got good HP, good damage, and obviously Blast is amazing. So I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Hopefully it won't be a month from now, but who knows. Let me know what you guys think, and yeah, if you're enjoying this format. So please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you want me to do next. And if you're a new player, please use the promo code and I'll happily send you the $0.5 US back to you. It just lets me know that people are watching and using the promo, and I'm helping new players join the community. Also, if you find me on the Discord, just pop me a message. I'll happily delegate any of the new players some power.